Before Death Stranding launched in 2019, the gaming community was rife with confusion as to what Death Stranding actually was. Was it a shooter? It had weapons in it, and combat did seemingly exist, yet trailers showcased combat sparingly, and even Hideo Kojima himself claimed that it wasn't a shooter. Then perhaps it was a stealth game, like Kojima's prior work. Yet Kojima again stated that Death Stranding would not be a stealth game. Maybe it was an open world RPG, or a full-on horror experience after the cancelled PT and Silent Hill. The point is, no one really knew. Even those involved were a bit confused as to what Death Stranding really was. In fact, in an interview with the Financial Times, Kojima admitted that he himself didn't fully understand Death Stranding, just that his mission was to create a genre that did not currently exist. In his tweet declaring that Death Stranding was, in fact, not a stealth game, Kojima coined this new genre, calling Death Stranding the first Strand game. Although the categorization of Death Stranding as a Strand game wasn't very helpful without the context of having seen the game in action. Otherwise, what on earth was the Strand game actually about in the first place? Nevertheless, it suggested that Death Stranding would be something new and wholly unique. When Death Stranding inevitably released and players had the chance to experience it for what it was, it became clear that perhaps it really was a new type of game. A new genre entirely, whose focus was not on minute-to-minute gameplay, but on long stretches of intricate traversal, the sublime reflection inspired by long journeys through vast, overwhelming lands, and of connection with others in a shared world. This is what Kojima was referring to when he stated that Death Stranding would not be a shooter or a stealth game, but rather a Strand game. It was this system of a shared world where players would be able to positively impact the experience of other players that they'd never even met. You could collectively build roads, you could leave climbing equipment like ladders and ropes after you had placed them, in the hopes that maybe, just maybe, someone else would take the same path as you had and would find themselves in need. It was this interconnectivity cultivated through gameplay that told a hidden story all of its own, which was supported by the game's central narrative and themes of unity and rebuilding a broken world. While the Strand genre of games may still be in its infancy, if you believe that it was pioneered by Death Stranding at all, Kojima's newest title did undoubtedly push boundaries and create new experiences. This, of all things, is what brings us to Overwatch 2. Overwatch 2, developed and published by Blizzard Entertainment, was touted as a sequel to Overwatch, a team-focused first-person hero shooter developed and published by Blizzard Entertainment that took the world by storm and the lives of several other hero shooters once it arrived on the 3rd of May 2016. Poised to redefine and develop the Overwatch experience, Overwatch 2 would bring the franchise into the next generation. Along with being free to play, the Overwatch team would focus on rebuilding the foundations of Overwatch to overhaul several key features that could not have been done through an update to the existing title, such as changing the player count of matches, which had remained the same since the launch of Overwatch in 2016. What we did not know, however, was that Overwatch 2, like Kojima's Death Stranding before it, would invent a whole new genre of video game, the text-based queue-type Battle Royale. Overwatch 2 places the player in a queue and tasks them with reaching first place to emerge victorious. While other Battle Royales may emphasise smart positioning, stealth and skill, Overwatch 2 is more a battle of patience. The winner is not who performs the best, but who's willing to keep Overwatch open the longest. When you first enter a match, there can sometimes be up to 40,000 other players with you, which is unlike any other Battle Royale on the market. In this case, there are only 69 players, so it's quite a small match. This should last only about 10 minutes. The game begins immediately, putting your patience and mental fortitude to the test as you wait in the queue, avoiding cancelling the queue at all costs lest you forfeit the match. If you last long enough, you'll see, oh, there we are. You'll see the number of players drastically drop, indicating that you're progressing up the ranks as other lost souls pass through. Eventually, after a few strong plays, you'll find yourself, oh, there we go again. You'll find yourself right here, 0 players ahead. I think we've done it. We should get confirmation in a minute that we won. Oh, okay, or not, I guess. Overwatch 2 is a much slower paced battle royale. There is no looting or shooting, only booting back to the end of the queue if your opponent beats you out at the last moment to secure the play of the game and the winning position. Not only is Overwatch 2 a much slower paced battle royale, but it is also the first entirely text-based battle royale. Matches aren't won through direct assault, but through a battle of mental attrition and rolls of the dice, conveyed solely through text. It's certainly a unique and interesting take on the battle royale genre, yet it fails to capture the exhilaration inherent in traditional battle royale games that has made them as popular as they are in the gaming space today. Despite this, it can't be denied that Overwatch 2 has pioneered a new genre, bravely entering uncharted territory to become the first text-based queue-type battle royale. As I'm making this video days after its release, I'm still yet to win. I know not what lies beyond this screen, and yet I wonder, will it be just as groundbreaking as it has been so far? I'm afraid only time will tell. Oh, what? Hey, I won. Neat. Wait, was that only the first step? Why are all these locked? I thought I won. Anyways, I'm not quite sure whether the queue-type battle royale is quite my thing. I'll probably go back to Overwatch 1 in the meantime. This brings us to the interesting question of the genre's future. It's too early to say whether the text-based queue-type battle royale will catch on, but I'm always asking for unique experiences in the world of video games. So maybe there's more potential in this genre. After all, it has only just begun. For now though, I think I'll keep exploring the Strand type game pioneered by Death Stranding. That's pretty neat.